All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Propelling Business Excellence podcast today. And today with me, I have Gary Wu, or I should say, Gary the Texan, who joined with me. He's the CEO of TotalMax. And welcome, Gary. Why don't we get started and kick off with your background on what you do and who you are? And give us some
Thank
background on the Texan, that middle name. Thank you.
Thank you. So, hi, my name is Gary Wu. Born in Beijing, China, the core communist center for Chairman Mao. So I came here to the U.S. when I was in junior high school, following my parents. When Deng Xiaoping and President Carter shook hands, China, U.S. approved 10 students to come to U.S. My dad was one of them. So we were lucky to get approved early. So I was like the first junior high student approved from Red China to come to U.S. So I thought that was amazing because I always want to come at junior high because I think after junior high, you don't have the socialization, the proper socialization. You will always be a foreigner, which is which is a lot of the immigrant, through their life. Just like my parents, they speak English, they have good jobs, but they're always foreign to the whole culture. I decide I'm going to be a Chinese fully, but I'm going to be an American fully. So I want to be two mother tongue, two motherland, and two mother culture, complete socialization. So when I landed, we were in Michigan, and I went to the same junior high as Madonna. Later, I found out on TV when she was talking about Meadowbrook Mall. I'm like, Meadowbrook Mall? Isn't that next to our high school? Then I find out she was like, yeah, same junior high. Then we moved to Tempe, Arizona, where the Playboy rated the best party school, Arizona State resides. So then I went to high school in Tempe. Then when it's time to make a choice for college, I decide to take a route that all Asian parents hate. Asian parents want you to study computers, engineering, go to MIT or CIT or Ivy League, get a nice, safe degree, or accountant or lawyer or doctor. I decided. I said, if I study engineering, just like everybody else, I'll be a nerd, right? I won't have any fun. So let me try something else. So starting my sophomore year, I decided to start my own Chinese restaurant from dirt up, just
Oh,
to
wow.
convince my dad I was a better businessman than engineer. Because I I was and I would be a terrible, terrible engineer. You know why? I cannot sit still. Engineers have to sit there all day. I'm like a bunny hopping, hopping, hopping. So I
A lot
said,
of
it's much,
energy.
yeah. So I think it's much better. So the restaurant was like fantastic success. Then my dad allowed me to take business class. Then I become like a business major, computer engineer minor. That helped me a lot. You have the foundation of the math, the
Yes.
logic, the engineering.
Uh-huh.
Then you have the business go on top, which means everything we do now is based on a math model. Then
Yes.
with the calculator on the front to make it easy to use, then the data fits in by statistical modeling. Then every decision we make is a scientific one based on either a max value equation or a min value equation, differential equations. That's how we build our business. So, of course, after college, I decided to try my luck in China right after the Tiananmen incident. I said, well, after Tiananmen, there'll be nobody go to China from
Mm-hmm.
US. Let
Mm-hmm.
me try that because I will have no competition, even though I'm young and no experience, right? I would have no competition. So lo and behold, my 747-400 says about 400 people, only have 4 people. The
Mm.
Beijing Shangri-La, when I got there, only had one guest, yours truly. So Actually, I got to meet a lot of people because at that time there's nobody from any foreign country. So even though I was young, 23, everybody said, "Well, Gary's from U.S., dressed nicely, and he's actually kind of good looking. So let's take him." So that's how I built my foundation. People always say, Gary has a lot of connections. Well, I said those connections didn't come from my dad, my uncle. It came from me being there when there's no competition. So that's another rule is if you can find a virgin territory when there's no competition, you go in there, okay? Because that requires the least resource and capability and eliminated the opportunity. That's basically what I started. Then over there, I joined U.S. smaller Fortune 500 for
Uh-huh.
7 years. Then from there, I joined the Volvo group from Sweden for 10 years. So I was their China president, Asia executive vice president. The last position at Volvo was the Volvo Group VP, strategic alliance. We mean merger acquisition. So
Amazing.
after that, I was invited to speak at the Yale CEO conference at the Waldorf. So I met the founder CEO of CarMax, Austin and Gong. At the time, I thought I was hot stuff, right? In the early 40s, already global VP for Volvo, and so invited to all these important forums in the world, talking, thinking I'm hot stuff. But
Yes.
then I met Austin. He's this humble, extremely intelligent Texan from Austin, and when I started talking to him, then suddenly I realized I'm not that smart. I'm not that good. So we decide to talk about it. I learned so much from him. He actually showed me the ropes. He drove me to different CarMax, different Costco, different Starbucks, different In-N-Out Burger, to show Gary, this is how the business model actually works. Whatever you see on the surface, like Costco, people say Costco making money from membership. What a joke, right? What a joke. That means you don't even understand the core of the model and you try to be lazy to say, well, the membership equal to the profit. Look, that's how they make money. I mean, who is stupid enough to pay for membership when there's no value? So when I see
Right.
some of the Wall Street types write that, I say, these guys' head must be kicked by some donkey someday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is basically, so after we did the CarMax project in China, Store Auto. Very successful. In 2 years, we become China number one. Unfortunately, China will change policy overnight. They won't grandfather anything. So they decide to ration
Mm-hmm.
the license. Now suddenly the business just fall apart. So I sold my shares, came back to the US, looking around, right? That was second quarter 2011. Well, at that time, I looked at the price of real estate. My God, Vegas real estate, 85% underwater. I'm like, wow, so great. So I came in a month, I bought 30 properties, right?
Oh, wow.
When a condo selling 280 in 2008, now selling for 55,000, no brainer because the rebuild cost is 130,000.
Mm-hmm.
55,000, you get 1,100 in rent. I mean, yeah, I think you do that, right? So
Right.
I decided to retire, do that for 2 years. Then I realized when you retire in your 40s, you know what that is? You're just waiting to die. Every day you have nothing to do. You try to find things to do. You try to eat whatever you want, whenever you want. Then after like a few months, you run out of things to do, then you realize every day you're just agonizing, waiting to die. So I said, so I was so bored. You wouldn't believe it. I was so bored. I would drive around the whole Vegas to go to all 7 Home Depot.
Oh boy.
Just I have something to do. A pretty sad life, right? Very
Yeah.
sad. So now I realized, well, we better do something. So we started fix houses, not all renting, maybe do one, flip it. we made a lot of money. Our annual return was 120%
Oh, wow.
on investment. So then in 2015, seeing the market start to mature, price going up, inventory down, I said, well, we cannot be in a segment where everybody else is in. So we decided to buy this huge land, huge house that totally ran down. Nobody can afford to fix. So we took those, we started to make them mansions, huge, pretty mansions with a theme, Italian, contemporary modern, industrial modern, Japanese modern fusion, Chinese modern fusion. So we did this. We
Oh,
started
wow.
rent them,
That's
on
amazing.
Airbnb, on VRBO, on Books.com, on Zillow. We're so successful that then we just continued on the road. So we built the TotalMax home in Vegas. We call the Lost Hawaii Mansion, right?
Mhm.
Because why? Because we're dry and hot. So we want the people to come into our mansion. The minute they see the water, they hear the water, they see the zen, they
Yeah.
see the bamboo, they see all the mist, they will say, wow, I'm not in Vegas. So, but also we're located 6 miles from the airport, 3 miles from the strip, 7 miles from the expansion center, and half a mile from Chinatown. So
Nice.
you elect areas where your customer will be perfectly situated. So that's what I've been doing since 2011, 2012. So until today. Now we're expanding not only in Vegas, on the beach, in Newport Beach, California, on the beach, South Beach, Miami, in London, in Kent. 10 minutes from London, we're doing called the Last Westman
Oh,
Castles.
wow. That's
Then
amazing. Yeah.
in Kyoto, Japan, where they get 55 million travel, we're doing the last Kyoto courtyard. So we buy these 800, 1,000 year old courtyard and fix according to their, antique protection. But we're gonna make it so comfortable. We're gonna use the $5,000 or $7,000 beauty rest. So when someone sleep there, they say, "Wow, I died, went to heaven because this mattress is just so." No, we have so many customers to say,
Yes.
"You guys mattress is so nice," because you know why? One of our master bedroom has a $9,000 mattress, beauty rest.
Oh, wow.
So
That's total
our
luxury.
model, our model is this: we let the customer indulge in everything he didn't even dream of. Right? He couldn't even dream of. How many customers can afford to buy a $9,000 beauty rest? Not too many, right? But we
No.
get him there. So he sees the price per person so low, he will get his family, his co-worker. He's just trying to come back. Since we have 11 mansions, they will just hop, right? From
Yeah.
one to the other.
That's great. So you
Day
have
one,
11 mansions in Vegas?
we have 11 now.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. So how much did you grew, Gary, you said you started this business in 2011
Yes,
till
but
now?
2011, remember, I started a long rental, then
Yeah.
flip. So
Yeah.
we start this business 2016. You have
Okay.
to take away the COVID year, right?
Yeah.
Not that long.
Yeah, that's amazing. So it seems like you made a huge progress from 2016 to now.
Right. I mean, we are now speeding up. Right now, our team, they look at Gary Wu, say, Gary's now totally crazy. He's buying three things like cabbage. First thing, glasses. I bought 11 pair of glasses last Friday. They said, Gary, just buy glasses like crazy. So they match to every clothes of mine. So I
Oh
have
man.
glasses to match everything.
That is crazy. I've never heard of that.
I have a pair of glasses that's only 5 pair made Cartier. People tell me now that pair of glasses worth $460,000 now. So I paid $23,000. I mean, I paid $25,000 for that pair 25 years ago. So I think it's worth a few pennies here and there, right? So number two, We buy cars like crazy. We bought a Bentley. No, sorry, Rolls Royce, Queen's Edition, bulletproof. Even the carpet, as a girl, you like it. Even the carpet is cashmere. The
Oh,
doors are
wow.
pearl, right?
Cool.
Only 6 have been made. It sits right in the car. 6, 1 of 6. Only. So we say, wow, when you sit in a bulletproof cashmere carpet with a foot heater,
Uh-huh.
because the queen always had the problem with her foot. So then we bought the Bentley GT with 500 horse under. Then we just bought a 1963 Rolls Royce Bentley. It's so beautiful. Right-hand drive was a wooden. Oh my God, it's so pretty. So then we also have a 1936 suicide door Chevy sedan. So yeah, so we let our customer use it to take wedding photos, group photos, wedding to pick up their bride, whatever, right? So
Uh-huh.
we make sure our customer are so happy, they never want to leave. So the minute they leave us, they say, "Well, let's try to come back." So that's what we have achieved. That's why our customers so happy, and we are also very profitable. That comes to the point: do you set up a business to make money? I think 99.9999% of people set up a business to make money. But if you look at Costco, look at CarMax, Burger, Starbucks, they're there to create the value from the customer perspective. At the same time, they make some money, right?
Yeah.
They make money from the extremely extra value they create. They take part of the extra value, but still give most of the extra value to their customer. That's the winning business model.
Yeah. That's great. So, what are some common misconceptions about running a business and how do you address them?
Well, as I mentioned, the number one misconception, you're in business to make money, right?
Ah, okay.
So money should be the ruler that measure the size of your sales. Money is the way measurement, only a ruler. Should
Mm-hmm.
never be your target. If that's your target, you will fail because you don't know where the customer is. You don't know where's your enemy, which is the competition. I always ask people. They all say, "Oh, customer is our God." I said, "I'm a Volvo. Is Mercedes customer my God? Are you just stupid? They're our enemy too because they're Mercedes customer. Unless you tell them, they become Volvo customer, and they're not God either. When they become Volvo customer, they're our strategic alliance.
Mm-hmm.
Customer is never to be put on a pedestal. That means you don't care about them. You want them away from you, right? So customer is either an enemy of the competitor or a strategic partner when they're yours. That is the biggest misconception that people have.
Okay. That's a great way of thinking about it. Creating the value for the customer.
Yes.
And I mean, you are so busy. I mean, how do you maintain your work-life balance? I see you were at the CXO conference. You were like running from here to there, and you have so many things going on. How and do you travel quite a lot?
Well, the first thing is, I always say, you design the whole thing
Uh-huh.
from the start. Like art of war. Sun Tzu said, if you did not calculate before the war, you will lose. Because once you start fighting, you don't have time, like you just said. Once the horn has blown, the battle started, you have no time. So
Right.
Gary always lay there for months at a time to strategize, to put execution plan, to put all detail of tactical plan, detailed execution. Then you look at the recorded resource capability. In a war, you need people. but trained people. They need to use the guns they know how to use. You need to have enough bullets. They need to be at the right time, right place, against the right enemy. They need food. That logistics, right? All that. Then you need reserve. Reserve means stop talking about efficiency. That's the worst word to use. Is you use effectiveness. You do the right thing first before you do things right. Effectiveness, efficiency against each other. A company run by lawyers or accountants will always die because they run on efficiency. They will suffocate the company. When they went to war, they rationed the bullets and the food. But in a war, situation changed in a split second. Remember, IBM was run by an accountant, John Akers. He ran the Big Blue right to the ground. Then Big Blue hired this guy from Nabisco. He wrote a book, famous book, Who Says Elephant Cannot Dance? When he went to the IBM as a Nabisco, they said, wow, what do you know? Just soup and crackers. He made IBM what it is today. He did a solution. He went from customer backward rather than accountant and lawyer just run from their book, right? That's why my advice to any big company, make sure your company is not, you don't elect an accountant or a lawyer as your CEO. You will die.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. So, what are your future plans, like 1 to 3 year?
Well, you can see. First thing, I want to be an Indian, right? I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
I see
everywhere
that.
in. I think all the Indians love me. I love them. When I was the EVP for Volvo Asia, of course, our factory was is in Bangalore. So I've been to India a lot of times. I think I failed to understand India at that time because we come from Fortune 500. We go in, we eat some meal, we say something, we go. But I think this leadership conference, the 3 days, uh, working with all the fantastic Indian people, that changed my mind. Before, I always thought Indians are tough, they're pushy, and they don't like people that's not Indian. I was so wrong. I was so wrong. Uh, I think the Indian people are the hardest and most effective working people there is. And also, once you prove yourself to them, you're worthy of being one of them. They love you, they support you. One guy is even going to fly with me to make sure from LA to Mumbai I'm safe.
Oh,
I,
wow.
I, I mean, I mean, who
That's
does
right.
that, right?
Yes.
Who does that? But Indians, everybody I met, they are so respectful. They don't, they're not like, I would say us Chinese, when we see someone do well, we do this. Say, you're good, I don't care. I mean, that's the Confucius culture. I always say, with one sentence, I would destroy Confucius. People say, that's a tall order. But I'm going to say it for the first time
Uh-huh.
in a public. Do you know Confucius, the most famous saying, ask any Chinese? He said, and I quote, only women and bad people are hard to raise. That's his quote.
Hmm.
His most famous quote in China is that. But nobody in the West talk about that, right? Only women and bad people are hard to raise. 唯女人与小人难养也. Now, anyone still respect Confucius?
Yeah, that
See?
would be hard to do. Right.
Right. I always say, in China, we don't have any philosopher besides Gary Wu because they say things like that. Confucius never wrote a book in his life.
Hmm.
You read his book of saying, though if you read the whole, there's no logic. It's just a mumbling, daily mumbling, recorded by his student. You take everything out of context. right? Let's take any of our whatever we say every day for like 20 years, took the good one, put it in. You sound intelligent too, right? See, but in the book of words, it says only women and bad people are hard to raise. Is that a philosopher?
Yeah, that's a
No, I
very
don't
bad
think so.
statement to make. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I said we got to be real. We got to face the music how it comes, right? I always talk in China, I always say, if we value Confucius, our race has no future, which is the problem we bring. Why in Silicon Valley? Well, let's talk about US. Why is the Indians number one income getter, not Chinese? Why is Indians dominate as management position in Silicon Valley, where the brightest 50,000 Chinese are there, but they are just engineers? Why is in the world 500, there are 33 Indian CEOs, there's only one Chinese CEO running his own company? See, these kind of questions are philosophical questions,
Right.
where the Chinese would never want to face the question. They would say, oh, the Indian just get together, block us off. I said, what a joke. What a joke. You got to face the music, right? Us Chinese, we know we're proud. The Indians are proud. We're ancient civilization. But that's also a problem. We're an ancient civilization. We have so many rules we put on ourselves. Like in China, we have this concept of faith. You know, we need to give each other faith. I would say, what is the faith? What does that constitute? A
Right.
faith. You heard that, right? We need to give the Chinese faith. What is faith? It is self-protection. Why do you need self-protection? According to Newton's physics second law, when you need a seal, there must be some knife there, right? Must be some sword there. Newton's second law.
Right.
What is that sword? Is no confidence. You have no confidence in yourself. That's why you need to put up a face shield.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yes, yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So in terms of your business plan here, I know you mentioned a lot about the Indians and whatnot. What are you planning to do in next 1 to 3 years, Gary?
We're going to become the world best luxury property owner, developer, operator like Costco. The industry, in India, they're already calling me the Costco of real estate, right?
Oh, wow.
The Indian leaders has called Gary Wu is the most visionary leader of the real estate market, right? You see in Caesars, they gave me 2 awards, 2 keynotes, 7 panels, 1 narrator, and 4 award presenter. I joke with my Indian sister, the CEO. I said, you guys are selling tickets at $2,000 a pop. Is Gary Wu your ticket for those tickets? You know what she said? She said,
Yeah.
yes. Because look at even our sound booth said, when I come off the stage, the sound booth people, technical people say, Gary, you're just a rock star. I said, well, if you're talking about AI, serious stuff, right? You know what I decided to do when I did the keynote for AI? I said, let me do a 25-minute comedy improv skit on AI. So the whole audience was so happy. They were laughing, they were yelling. At the end, someone is yelling, say, Gary Wu for president. I said, no, not born here, not possible. But you can feel the environment, right?
Yes,
It's
yes, absolutely.
electrifying, right? That's why the sound booth people hearing me, they say, Gary talks and acts and perform like a rock star. I'm so happy that different people using their angle to say, Gary, you did us a great service by talking, which I'm really happy.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, even listening to you for some time here, I know I was at the CXO conference as well, but I wanted
Yes,
to give this opportunity to my podcast viewers so they
thank
can
you.
learn from you in like 20 minutes. So, Gary, with this, what obstacles are you expecting? You have a big goal here, right? That's very amazing, and it's very daunting task to even think about it. Do you expect any obstacles that you think you might
I
encounter?
I think you asked me why I call myself the Texan, right? So I'm gonna go there. Uh, 3 days ago, I got discriminated. I got discriminated like no one has ever been. But we are Asians, so even the police don't act on it because Asians do not act on things. I don't mean you Indians. I mean us East Asian, Koreans, Japanese, Chinese, uh, Vietnamese, Malaysians, Singaporeans, Indonesians. We're mostly under the Confucius, be nice, be docile. So when we get discriminated, we just lower our head and walk away. So this country now, anyone can be protected from discrimination except Asians. So when people see this face, okay, they will automatically discriminate against you. I was invited to the White House for Christmas dinner twice.
Oh, wow.
Standing there, some parties chairman of state will discriminate against me. They will talk to me without even looking at my face. Then 3 days ago, I got discriminated because I was buying something on Facebook, $20. So the minute I say my assistant will pick up, she, a southern white lady, went into the most craziest thing that any Asian can face. She said she called me a liar, a scammer, over $20
Oh my gosh.
because she looked at my profile, knowing I'm a famous, you know, big shot. So she decided to attack me. So she said, looking at you, you're not from this country. Go back to your rice paddies.
Hmm.
Then this is all on Facebook, writing, in writing. Then she said 3 times, you're such a liar, fake. I'm sleeping with your mama. She said that 3 times. How crazy. That's my biggest challenge. The
I see.
minute they see I'm Asian, they discriminate automatically. Doesn't matter by treating you nice, distant, or they just discredit you. So a lot of times I let my secretary go first because they are white or black or African American or Hispanic. I
Mhm.
do not dare to be in front. And you saw at the conference, I had my own security brief, right?
Yes.
Big, tall, ex-Marine, ex-CIA, big, tall African American, all parking. They were the Michael Jackson security team the last 4 years of Michael's life. You can see, even with that, people will come up to them to say, why are you guys here? To protect this guy? Right. So that's the number one challenge. It's the undaunting discriminative thing by the Southern white people against Asians. But unfortunately, the Southern white, some of them, right, the extremely right wing, they, in their blood, subconsciously, they do that. They will look at me right away, their face turning to this, right? Right away, in disgust. So I'm a world renowned businessman. I'm on the cover of the Real Vegas magazine, right?
Mhm.
I get global leadership award. I'm covered by the Harvard Business Review. I was keynote at Yale CEO conference.
Oh
I
wow.
lectured at Wharton, at Kellogg, right? And then I'm guest professor for the top 5 Chinese university. Even that, over $20, some random southern white lady will attack me senselessly because he's white, good-looking 19-year-old. Then we tape the whole exchange. She was so nice to him, such double standard, not the worst. So I called the police. When she was saying, gave me the address, come, I break your face. The police, in an hour on tape, decide not to help me at all. They say, Gary, you should go to Facebook, file a complaint. I'm like, are you serious? She's going to break my face in. Don't you see that? It's in writing. And she gave me her address to pick up the necklace. You know what the police in charge of Spring Valley said? Well, just stay away. With that kind of attitude by the police, that's why the hate crime is rampant. That's what I experienced just 3 days ago.
Yeah,
that's the
really
number one
too.
challenge for us Asians in USA.
Yeah, that's that I can see that it's real, even for people like you. You are experiencing that discrimination. So, do you have any? I know it's a bigger challenge. What is? Do you have like any game plan or action item in place that how you're going to ensure that your business is successful while encountering all these challenges?
I do. You know, us Asians sit on the sideline, but the Indians do not. I have the highest respect for Indian. See, Nikki Haley, Indian, right? Kamala Harris, Indian. The Prime Minister of Great Britain, Indian. You see, we need to do what the Indian has achieved, using Indian as the successful model for the rest of the Asians. Get involved, pay your dues, vote, right?
Yes.
Then, under the right leadership, not these current leadership, old, don't know anything about US, they're still foreigner in US after 40 years. Their English is terrible. They cannot enunciate their word, right? You want these people to be Chinese leaders, Japanese leaders, Korean leaders, or they have leaders that's completely American born, knows nothing about the culture, cannot even name one emperor in China. You want them to be leaders? Look at the Indian. The best people get together, right?
Yes.
The best business people, then they support the best politicians. They support them globally. They're in South Africa. They're in Middle East, right? Hats off to the Indian. And shame to our East Asian, including my own race. Shame. We don't vote. We don't participate. And they wonder how come the Chinese kids getting 100% on SAT does not get even one offer from Ivy League. They wonder. I always ask them, have you ever done a day of volunteering? No? Are you a Girl Scout or Boy Scout? Have you done any sports? Have you always done any, that's a group team activity? Their answer is no. What music instrument have you used? Piano or violin? No team. Why did you do drums, flute? That is a part of the band. Don't be so selfish. Don't be a lone wolf. Can you imagine a lone wolf, bunch of lone wolves get into society? What damage does all those lone wolves does to our great country? So my thing is, we're going to eliminate the far right and the far left. Everybody is not a Republican, is not a Democrat. We are here. Like President Reagan said, we make sure we're still the shining city on the hill, right? To the world. We're going to make sure we are the country our founding father set up based on the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. We're not going to allow us me from a communist state. We're not going to allow us to become North Korea. Okay? Not Cuba. Right?
Yeah.
We're not. We are not. Even if some of the people think, even Harvard student, top 10 reading two books by Karl Marx. That's how we're building our new leaders. Commies, they can do it. We're not going to allow because we were commies. We know how that works. They don't. They're rich people coming from somewhere. They think, oh, it's nice what Karl Marx said. Makes some sense. Everybody's in peace. Everybody. I ask you, which communist country has reached equal rights? Which communist country is actually wealthy? Look at the fact. People at Harvard, people at Berkeley, look at the fact. Stop dreaming. That's my plan.
Okay. That's amazing. I mean, you have quite a lot of energy here, Gary. I love you have a lot of big plans here. Even in the Chinese
Well,
community, you're trying to raise that awareness. I think we would love to see that.
actually,
That
what I'm,
discrimination. Yes.
you know what I'm doing? I'm not going there first. I'm, I'm, I'm becoming an Indian first. You understand?
Yeah.
I need
Got
to
it.
be an Indian so I know while we are successful, then we be able to change the other culture to be like the Indians worldwide. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's a great plan. Learn from others and apply it to yours. So
Learn from the best that's
why
been successful, supreme success, Indian in the world, right?
Yep, that's great advice. That's great advice. So, with this, I'm going to ask you one more time here. I guess one more thing here. You gave a lot of great advice. Thank you very much. You have a lot of energy. I learned quite a lot in this 30 minutes. But what is that one advice you would offer to the aspiring entrepreneurs who are just starting their journey or facing their challenges within their business that have reached plateau? I know you gave quite a lot of advice here. What is
So
one thing
if
you would say?
I was voted top 7 philosopher in modern China. That means since 1911, I was voted top 7 philosopher. So
That's
in my whole philosophy of business, I invented an equation called the opportunity equation. It reads like this: resource plus capability must be much larger than opportunities. Resource plus capability must be much larger than opportunity. So most of the people, they complain. They say, "Well, I don't have a opportunity to succeed. I was born. God didn't smile about. I don't have opportunity." I said, heaven, Buddha, or God, whatever you believe, is very fair to everybody.
mm-hmm.
In my book, I wrote, actually, they gave you everybody 3 important decisions. When you fail, that means all 3 decisions, you made the wrong one. And you blame everybody else but yourself, but you're the one made the decision. Just like I decided not to go to Ivy League, go to a party school, ASU. Why is that? Because if I went to Ivy League, I would never get a true American socialization. At ASU, we have to party, we have to play beach volleyball, we have to, we're called the Arizona State Country Club, right?
Oh, wow.
But despite all that, you cannot let people see you study, because if you study, you're a nerd. You got to show up at the right party. Still, you can get a 3.8 GPA. That's much harder to get an OH at Harvard, right? You
Mm-hmm.
understand? So
Yeah.
that's what I mean. At my height, I have 3 beach volleyball trophies. I broke 2 fingers playing.
Oh, wow.
One time, I played 13 hours of beach volleyball straight. That's what you do. You become a true American through and through, right? Through and through. That's what I say. That's your resource and capability, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your resource was Chinese, but you better change that with full American socialization. Then you can take a full, real American opportunity. Otherwise, you don't even understand what your customer is saying.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's the number one advice. You better have the right resource. On top of that, build the right capability. Then you look across the cliff to say, can I get over the cliff to get to the opportunity and still can destroy it? Then the opportunity become your resource capability the next round. So don't bite more than you can chew. You're gonna choke to that. That's my advice.
That's amazing advice. Thank you very much, Gary. I think this was
Thank
very,
you.
very helpful. It was a very exciting session here, full of energy, and I could see a lot of passion in your entrepreneurial journey. I'm sure our podcast viewers learned quite a lot. So, to everyone watching here, I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. With this, thank you very much, Gary, again
Thank
for
you.
coming to our podcast. We really enjoyed it and learned quite a lot from you.
Thank you so much.